living abroad, its true importance. So first of all, how many of you in here have lived in the same country for your whole life? So that's a lot of people. Now how many of you have lived in the same state for your whole life? So less, but still a lot. Now how many of you have lived in the same city or school district for your whole life? No one, but it's still a common thing. So while there are many benefits to living in the same place for your whole life, such as a stable school, stable friends, and stable home, which are things that I've never really gotten to experience, moving to new places and experiencing a culture different than your own contributes to ending cultural ignorance through creating a more global perspective and also through personal growth. So in order to explain, where I've lived and where I'm from, I need to talk about my parents. So first of all, my mother's family all originated in Eastern Europe, but immigrated to New York in the early 1900s, and my mom was born and raised on Long Island. My father, on the other hand, was born in Morocco, but moved to Spain when he was 3 years old and lived there until he was around 30 and moved to New York and met my mom. And that leads to me, a person who's already from a lot of places without having to live in other countries. So after my parents got married, my dad got offered a job in London. As my parents were very adventurous people, they decided to take the job thinking it would only be a 2 to 3 year position. They'd eventually move back to the States and raise their family here. My sister was born in London, and they ended up really enjoying it. And when my dad got offered a job in Paris, they decided to take it and live for 18 years. And it ended up being 18 years that they lived in Europe until 2 years ago they moved here to New York. So where I've lived. I was born in Paris, and when I was 5 years old, I moved to Switzerland and lived there for 5 years. When I was 10 years old, I moved back to Paris and lived there for 4 years until 2 years ago, where I moved here to New York. And while a lot of people say, when I moved here, a lot of people were saying, you moved back to America, due to my American accent and my American mannerisms. Living in America is more living abroad for me than living in Europe ever really was, as it's very different culture-wise. So the main benefit of living in a different country or another place is achieving a more global perspective. So the formal definition for a global perspective is a comprehensive lens through which you see the world around you. It changes how you perceive and understand your own identity and the identity of people you interact with as you begin to understand what goes into shaping culture. So in my own words, having a global perspective is being a citizen of the world and understanding that other people's cultures and knowing that your way of living isn't necessarily the right way of living or the only way of living, that there are many ways of living that are right. An example of this is that when I lived in Switzerland, the formal way of greeting someone was with 3 kisses. If you didn't do this, you'd either be considered rude or unfriendly, and it was just what you did when you met someone. If my dad was introducing me to his boss or his colleague, I'd automatically greet them with 3 kisses. When we moved to Paris, this changed as the formal greeting was 2 kisses. And when I moved to America, it changed completely, as you usually greet someone with a handshake if they're new, or a hug if you've known them for a while. But it's never really kisses, as people are less affectionate. So a big part of gaining global perspective and being a citizen of the world is languages. So the importance of languages isn't a new concern or a new topic. In 1958, the National Defense Act required all students in public school to learn a second language. And in 2001, the International Union of University Presidents recommended that all college students study a second language and also take a semester abroad while in college. So another very big benefit of learning a new language is that it's been shown to cause brain growth. A 2004 study at the University College London showed in which they had 2 groups of people, a group of people that studied a second language every day, and a group of people which only studied one language, which was their mother tongue. They did brain scans both before and after the trials, and discovered that there was actual brain growth in the hippocampus, which is where most long-term memory is stored. And another study in which they just did scans of the brain of bilingual people and scans of the brain of people that only spoke one language, they discovered that there was more density in the cerebral cortex, which is where most information processing is done. And since there's growth in the hippocampus and improvement of long-term memory through languages, it's also been shown to prevent Alzheimer's. So a very interesting concept about living in new places is that time appears to move more slowly, which leads to living what seems to be a longer life. So the way that Michael at Vsauce explains it is that when you're 1 year old, 1 year of your life is 100% of your life. And when you're 2 years old, 1 year of your life is 50% of your life. And when you're 80 years old, 1 year of your life is 1/80th of your life. So When you're younger, time seems to move more slowly as you have more big milestones, like the first time you walk, your first word, your first day at school, graduation, getting your license. So all of these big milestones make time appear to move more slowly, but as you get older, other than getting married and having kids, the amount of milestones that you have decreases. But if you move to new places as an adult, you may see you have many major moments, such as meeting a new friend for the first time, your first day at work, your first time trying to speak a new language, and all of these major milestones make time appear to move more slowly, which could lead to what seems to be a longer life. So now personal growth. These things that I've explained, such as meeting new friends, learning a new language, all of these lead to personal growth through stepping out of your comfort zone. So according to Psychology Today, the 6 main benefits of being able to step outside your comfort zone are more confident in school or work, ability to fake it until you make it, make the most of what you have, more open to new experiences, boost creativity, think outside the box, and more adaptable. And the one that I think is most important is definitely adaptability. As I've gone to new schools, I've had to make new friends and meet new people and adapt to my surroundings, adapt to new teachers, new methods of teaching. For example, here the Common Core system, and those the trait of adaptability is very important in later life, as you have to go to college and make new friends and meet new types of people, or go to a new work and have to have different deadlines, different hours, things like that. So adaptability is a very important trait in life, and that comes through stepping out of your comfort zone, which happens when you have to move around. So now, making new friends. So as you move around, obviously you have to make new friends, otherwise you'd be stuck by yourself. And as you make new friends, your global circle increases, which may lead you to more opportunities through these friends, and also different types of friends in different places may have different cultures and can teach you different things that you didn't know before about these cultures. And also, travel is easier. As you move to different places, you have different countries surrounding you, which makes it easier to travel to places that you've never been before. For example, my friend India grew up most of her life in California. And as she lived in California, she could travel around America, Latin America, all the places that were close to her. And when she was 12 years old, she moved to Paris. And when you live in Paris, you can travel to Germany, Spain, Switzerland. All of these places are in driving distance, so it's very easy, to travel to all these places. And then she moved to Hong Kong. And when she lived in Hong Kong, she could easily travel to China, Australia, places that I've never been before. So travel definitely change. Like, the places that you can travel to expands as you move around. And finally, education. So a study showed that 81% of children who study abroad receive a college degree, and this is compared to the U.S. Census Bureau study in April 2017, which found that 33% of Americans receive a college degree. So that's nearly a 50% difference in the amount of students receiving a college degree, which is a big difference. And although here at Wheatley, the percentage is definitely higher than 33%, across America, across the board, it is 33%. So how to accomplish this? There are many different ways that you can accomplish this, and one of them is moving through employment. So like my father, multinational companies, or schools, being a teacher, administrator, or a school counselor. It's very easy to get, it's not too hard to get a job at international schools. Most of my teachers in my old schools were American that decided to move on a whim. Or government, so if your parents work for the embassy, there's a lot of travel involved, or through the military, doing military service. There are many, like if you enter the military, there are many different places, Italy, Afghanistan, and also becoming an au pair. So just because some people don't know, an au pair is like a babysitter that lives with you. And when I was younger, my au pair was from California. She decided to move to Paris and become an au pair. So that's one thing. And also nonprofit organizations such as the United Nations, Doctors Without Borders, the Peace Corps. And then the other way is studying abroad. So high school exchange programs. I know we have the Peruvian exchange, which, although it's only a week, you can learn a lot about culture through that. The college semester abroad, it's very popular. A summer abroad, or just a gap year. For example, I have an Israeli student living in my house right now that's taking a gap year before the army. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening.